February 2024 / In Taiwan, a young tech genius downloads a polished new translation app, getting ready for a $1 million investor pitch. 30 minutes later, his crypto wallets are empty. He thinks it's a simple hack. It isn't. Because this man isn't a startup founder, he's the most powerful drug lord on the dark web. And that stolen crypto? It didn't just cost him money. It destroyed an empire and led to one of the biggest cybercrime arrests in modern history. In March 2020, inside a dim apartment in Kaohsiung, Taiwan, 21-year-old Lin Rayong sat before a blank Google document. He titled it simply, Workflow. But this wasn't a productivity plan. It was a war plan. Lin was crafting the architecture of what would become Incognito Market, a digital cartel designed to eclipse every darknet empire before it. He dissected the rise and fall of Silk Road, AlphaBay, and Empire. He didn't just learn from their code, he learned from their failure. His market would be smarter, decentralized, encrypted to the teeth, and above all, ephemeral. Lin's blueprint included advanced PGP messaging, seamless Monero integration, API automation, and a self-erasing forum structure. His only mistake, he emailed the doc to himself. From Gmail. That single traceable move would outlive the empire. By late 2020, Pharaoh launched an encrypted subreddit under the name Incognito Official. Entry was invitation only. The posts offered a marketplace safer than the streets, where no trace would be left behind. He'd vanish after every post, reappearing with new aliases. The vendor who believed the dream. In a village outside Hamburg, Germany, a small-time cannabis dealer named Ben stumbled upon Incognito Market. Like many, he'd been burned before, exit scams, lost crypto, fake moderators. But Incognito looked different. It was organized, almost corporate. To register as a vendor, Ben submitted past transaction history, encrypted identification, and a $1,500 BTC security deposit. Soon, Ben was shipping kilos across Europe. He rented a warehouse, expanded into hydroponics, fertilizers, and discreet packaging. He was earning $4,000 to $7,000 a week. Incognito was growing fast. Admins resolved disputes within hours. Vendors who scammed were banned, like WSB, busted for faking 50-plus orders. By summer 2021, Incognito processed hundreds of thousands in monthly transactions. It was becoming the new AlphaBay. But while vendors profited, the FBI was already inside. April 2022. Global law enforcement shut down Hydra Market, the biggest darknet platform in history. The dark web was left reeling. Incognito's transactions exploded from $700,000 per month to over $2.5 million. Lin took a 5% cut on every deal, pure crypto. But cleaning that crypto? Not easy. He ran complex laundering chains, Monero swaps, privacy wallets, decentralized mixers. He covered his tracks like a pro until he slipped. In May 2022, Pharaoh posted publicly on the dark web forum Dread. He ranted about a swap service rejecting one of his Monero batches, even shared the timestamp and amount. FBI agents, already tracking darknet Monero mixers, traced the transaction to a wallet labeled internally as Admin Wallet 1. That wallet, in turn, had been used to register 4 domain names, including one with a KYC-verified exchange. The email tied to that account, with one public rant and one $22 domain fee. They had him. Hacked by his own kind. With Lin now a person of interest, federal agents mapped everything: his devices, servers, social accounts, even private browsing logs. In July 2022, with help from a tipster in Romania, they seized back-end servers hosted at a shadowy data farm in Eastern Europe. What they found was explosive. Full vendor logs, buyer addresses, escrow balances, internal messages. Still unaware of the breach, Lin panicked when the site went down and Googled server fixes from his personal Gmail account. The FBI watched him in real time. But while feds were closing in, another threat emerged. In January 2023, a hacker collective posing as investors from Fabric VC contacted Lin. They sent him a fake Zoom app, actually a Trojan that instantly siphoned crypto from his cold wallets. Over $1.2 million gone. Gone. The man who sold malware was hacked by malware. Chapter 5. The Collapse of a King. Incognito started to buckle. Withdrawals stalled. Vendor complaints flooded in. Forums lit up with panic. Then came the post. Incognito had exit scammed. Rough estimates: $5 million in frozen escrow. 1,000 vendors. Over 250,000 buyers affected. Pharaoh denied it. Posted memes. Claimed technical difficulties. Even wrote, "Pinky promise, not a scam." But the community wasn't buying it. The founder of Dread, Hugbunter, stepped in. He confirmed it was an exit scam. Worse, he exposed Pharaoh's attempts to bribe him with ownership of darknet news site Darknet Live in exchange for silence. Then Pharaoh made a fatal PR move. He threatened to leak vendor data unless people paid him $20,000 per profile. Addresses, orders, messages, blackmail. But Hugbunter fired back. He traced an old Monero node from 2020, used during Incognito's early testing phase, back to Lin's personal blog. He messaged Pharaoh, "If you leak 1 byte, I'll release your real name and address." Pharaoh folded, said it was an April Fool's joke. Nobody laughed. Epilogue: the final boarding pass. By early 2024, Lin had vanished. But not for long. He resurfaced in St. Lucia, of all places, ironically hosting a conference on cybercrime prevention. When he booked a flight to JFK, the FBI was waiting. The moment his sneakers hit American soil, a swarm of plainclothes agents took him down. The boy who studied the dark web's best, built the most trusted drug empire in years, and scammed the scammers, was now in handcuffs. He wasn't arrested by an elite SWAT team or taken down in a high-speed chase. He fell to a translation app, a careless post, a $22 domain, and the one thing he couldn't encrypt, his own ego.